All right, folks, it's that time again where we're doing the Michael Erhart after party. And for some reason, he's underneath me today instead of over there. I guess it doesn't really matter where we are situated.
we got the hairdos.
I can switch places with. I'll just switch places with Ollie. There you go. No, he's on top there.
I'm up in the corner. Woohoo!
He is our new alpha.
Yeah.
He gets first cut of meat.
We can almost do the Brady Bunch theme, right?
No, we need a couple more people in here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess everyone's busy. Usually there's like fucking 800 people in here.
Or at least 8.
I'm not too sure where everybody went. I'm
not a big draw. I told you I was only going to be like a little drop in a puddle. I don't have a huge following. Well, I don't have a big following over there on Twitter to bring over.
Well, you'll probably get a few more after the interview.
Yep.
I hate to break it to you, Neil, but you've been canceled.
I've been canceled? Oh, okay. Oh, no.
What?
Oh,
whatever will
okay,
we do?
Okay. Yeah.
No, sorry. Just watching the updates from the Canucks game.
Updates.
Vancouver Canucks. Yes, they are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's now Tampa Bay's winning. It's 5-4. So,
yeah, that's not the world.
Jenna, you should come in.
I have an issue. I have an issue with super warm places having hockey teams, while other cold places don't have hockey teams. Like Florida should have like none hockey teams, but Maine doesn't have a hockey team.
I don't think Maine's big enough.
It's all about population.
They're all ice.
Yeah.
Don't matter if they don't have enough people there to make a game, right? If there's not enough people to actually fill a stadium and have a regular following, they're not going to get a team.
Have you
heard
this reason?
Let's put it this way: it took Seattle forever to get a franchise.
Yeah,
and they have the population.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's not right with that.
Have you heard,
Mikey, it's hard to get a new franchise?
I heard they're bringing another team to Chicago besides the Bears, since the Bears are moving to
Schaumburg.
and I heard they're thinking about bringing Jacksonville to Chicago. That's what I heard.
Jaguars? Yeah, that'll go great.
Yeah,
I guess now they're gonna have a whole. Now they're gonna have a whole nother fan base to make desperately sad all the time, every year. Just fucking just break your heart every year.
Oh, I know. Well, 85. You're too young for 85, but that was a magic year here.
All I know is I got a buddy that lives underneath me who actually supplies me with my weeds, and he is a Chicago Blackhawks fan. And he's kind of putting his head in a pillowcase these days.
Yeah. Well, they were fun to watch for a few. We had a few years of glory here.
Yeah.
Remember Derrick Rose? Yeah. Remember how excited the Bulls had us with Derrick Rose?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can remember
ACL snapped, and so did our dreams.
Yeah. So I'm old enough to remember the glory days of 85 and then the glory days of Jordan. I mean, those were some magic years to be a Chicagoan.
And then the Sox won everything for a little while.
Yeah, then the Cubbies finally won. But I don't care about the Cubbies. I never did really like the Cubbies.
Eat it, Northsiders.
Yeah. My friends.
Finally sending a link your way, Jenna. There you go. Jenna might
Olivia.
Link to Jenna.
What's your big Canadian sports rivalries up there? Like who? The Leafs and the Canucks? Is that a thing, or the Oilers? No. Or what's your
Leafs and the Canadians? Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal.
That's a fairly, but basically it's a triangle between them and Boston. Those three teams, anytime they get together, that's a big rivalry.
Just best buds.
For hockey, yeah.
They just have a lot of fun together.
Oh yeah. Always like if
punch the shit out of each other.
If Boston shows up in Toronto, there's fights in the streets. The same thing as
Gary.
Boston, Montreal.
To be fair to to the Canadian teams, it is Boston we're talking about. They'll fight literally anything.
Yeah, but I know, but it's all Canadian fans. It's all They're all Canadians. There's no Boston fans that actually get into those games.
It's really weird being down here, so I'm switching places.
Okay. It was kind of weird to be up there too, because I was feeling myself looking down at you. It was like weird.
You always look down at me.
I'm high on a cloud, buddy.
Somebody in the chat last time we were with the after party was saying you can tell Ollie's getting more and more stoned because his head gets closer and closer and closer to the bottom of the frame.
Yeah. The lower and lower I sink in my chair. I keep stretching back a bit more and just stretching out.
I think that was anti-drug PSA. Wasn't that an anti-drug PSA?
Yeah, maybe.
Split down the wall.
There was a whole bunch of deflation in that one.
Don't be an Ollie.
Why? I don't understand that statement.
I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding.
I feel fairly successful in my life, and I smoke a shit ton of pot.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Oh boy, I'm almost out of fucking Rolaids. I got to order some more.
Rolaids.
Oh yeah, I get heartburn easy. I can drink milk and get heartburn.
Well, I'm living by what are these Tums? Yeah, we sound like commercials right now, though.
I think I have Tums in the cupboard right now.
Little product placement.
Right. I hope you're getting some spiff on this.
This after party brought to you by our friends at Mylanta. Mylanta, when you just can't get it to do right.
I was in to see my diabetic specialist, and they're going to put me on
ring of fire.
Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Heard of that? I've seen some commercials on TV about it. It's a once a week shot. Right now,
that's the one with the Ozempic.
Maybe.
Yeah, it is. They do that song Magic, or what was that song? Yeah,
it's magic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which actually aggravated me because as a kid I loved that song, and so I don't want a commercial to fucking ruin it.
Is that the curse?
I just read where Paul McCartney won't let any Beatles songs be done for commercial. And yeah, I agree with that's like Zeppelin. You don't, or Sabbath. You never heard any fucking Sabbath goddamn commercials.
Yeah, probably not. No.
You're getting some now though, right?
Not commercials. No.
I heard Led Zeppelin the other day.
In a movie, you heard him. They did in the Land of Ice and Snow. They did that in the Thor movie, and then one other movie. But that's still pretty tight.
Game.
That's still holding it pretty tight to the vest. 2 movies in 40 years, 50 years.
I'm pretty excited, actually. Coming up soon on the show, I got Nuria Khan, who's also known as the Holy Humanist. She's an ex-Muslim, so it should be very interesting when having her on.
And ex-Muslims.
No, a few, but not so much. Oh, Stephanie's in the chat. Send Stephanie a link, for fuck's sake.
Okay. Did you?
And, what?
They play in Portland.
Oh,
Portland, Maine.
That's their affiliated team where they got their second stringers, right?
Yeah. Oh. Ours is the Abbotsford Canucks.
Yeah. That's quite a different Canuck team. Haven't heard of them yet.
Well, Abbotsford is another city.
AHL league. Okay.
They're right below the NHL, right? They're in the league right below.
I got a 16-year-old. Well, my 16-year-old from my last marriage. He's a real big hockey player. His dad had him on the ice since he was 3 years old, and now he's obviously still doing peewees. But he's got his heart set on getting into it. His dad plays for the minors.
Yeah,
we have a I guess North Shore. I can't remember the
River Otters.
No. It's a place where they go to play, like to learn how to play and stuff like that. And the guy lives in my building as a coach, and he coaches up there. It's the North Shore
Wrexham.
These are the kids that are like 7 and 8 years old, or 10, 12 years old. How old?
All different levels.
some sort of hockey camp of some type.
North Shore Winter Club, it's called.
Oh, nice.
And they are known for producing NHL level players, and there's like 8 or 9 players in the NHL right now that came out of their program.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They had one game. I think it was San Jose and Nashville were playing, and 4 of the players on the ice were from the North Shore Winter Club.
They're pumping them out over there.
Yeah. They got some good teachers.
Yeah, some great coaches.
Top quality.
My friend, and his name is kind of ironic in this sort of show thing, but his name is Christian.
Yeah.
But he's a coach. He wants to. Eventually, he says, "Sure, I'm not aiming to be there, but I'd love to be an NHL coach. That'd be the shit." But he's a very in-demand coach, and the players really like his system. So when they like your system, you're going to have a good team.
I got a friend on Twitter whose name is Eric Bible, and being an atheist, when he comes on and writes, people are looking and like, that's his last name.
Tell him about the show, man, and see if he'll come on and do the show. Because with a name like that, I got to have him on the show.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Right on. He did believe too, so.
Yeah, bring him on. Let him know. Said, I spilled your name to this guy. Canadian jackass guy who does the show about teaching birding.
He'll almost for sure see this. Almost for sure.
Almost for sure. Almost for sure.
Almost.
Send him a link, and he will see it.
Is that like jumbo shrimp or military intelligence? Oxymoron.
More like the second than the first.
Gary Priestley. Yeah, Gary, I don't think you've been on here either.
Gary could be on.
I know I know Jason Priestley.
Wow.
Not that I'm trying to break. Well, he lives
dropping names.
He lives in him and Will Sasso, who's also was on like Mad TV and shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
The first time I ever met Will, I was driving tow truck. This is way back in the early 90s, and he couldn't get his door to his Jeep Cherokee closed, so I had to go over there and fuck around with the door latch and stuff, and then I got it working, and he's like, "Holy cow, man, you're so awesome. I couldn't get that thing closed for days, and I couldn't even take my truck out." And blah, blah. Yeah, he's the nicest guy, man. But then he got famous, and he kind of
douched up.
Fame can go to your head. Nah, he's still a good guy. Like, he's cool with me, obviously, but I've seen him act in not so cool ways with some people. On the other hand, I understand when you're famous, you're going to be hounded by people constantly. Sure. You're going to have off days where you're not going to want to be friendly, the friendly giant or anything like that to people. So, yeah, so I get that. Priestley by name, but not Priestley by nature.
I think
Gary, let's talk, buddy. I'd have you on the show for sure if you're up for it. Oh, you're in Australia, so it'd have to be a Saturday. Yeah. Saturday for me, Sunday for you. And we could arrange it for a time where it's, in the morning or something for you. And because I've done multiple people from Australia.
I have a huge account person that I follow that recently just followed me, and she's huge, and she's from Australia. Pink Heretic. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah. And I just hit her up in the DMs the other day saying, you got to go on Neil's show because you're so awesome on here. And she said she would think about it. So.
Oh, she'll think about it. Okay.
Well, I think no. I think it was more of an issue. She doesn't want to go live. I think she just didn't want to go do a live show. It had anything to do with you.
I know. No, Pink Heretic's cool.
Oh, she's the coolest.
She's good people. But I've had Notcha Witness on. I've had
Pastor Alex Love.
Atheist pastor. No, not Pastor Alex Love.
He just followed me yesterday.
Yeah, he's fucking funny too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Somebody went underneath his thing and wrote $50 or was $100 for a prayer, and they put little arrows to his little sign, and I went underneath that and I wrote, "You're missing it. This dude's I've been on here for 3 months now, and I love this guy. It's parody. He's just joking. He's not taking money for prayer." And that's the most viral I've gone since I've been on Twitter for like 4 days now. I've been getting just hits and hits and hits on that. He followed me, and then like it went crazy just from that one.
That's it. Navardia. That's the one I heard of. Yes, Gary, that's the one.
Navardia.
an atheist pastor, and Sam Heretic Sam? Is that what he calls himself? I can't remember. Or is it Sammy 420 now?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had a bunch of the, I guess, somewhat more well-known Aussies on the show for sure. Non-Stamp Collector is an Aussie. Yeah, I'd love to have him on because he's one of the first channels I started watching back in the day. But that guy's just too busy. Trying to get someone like him, I almost. This is a sad story. One of my favorite channels, Dark Matter 2525.
Good one.
John is his name, and he spells it the Garfield way, Jon. John. He does great work, and I would love to have had him on the show. But he had, I don't know, I don't know why, but he just wanted it to be one-on-one, and I'm like, but I do my show with my producer Mikey. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it one-on-one. I'm like, no, I don't do the show without Mikey. So
I'm not, if it's a thing, I'll be fine.
No, Mike, I'm not going to do a show without you now. You are part of the show, and that's just not going to happen. I don't care if it's the most popular atheist in the world. I'm still not going to do it.
I don't remember.
It's not about that.
It's about how the show works.
Yep, I have a co-host, and you want to come on, you got to do it with both of us, man. That's just the way it is. It's unfortunate. John's a great guy. Like, I don't dislike him because of that, or think lower or lesser of him at all. He's still a very talented, very creative, very intellectual guy. But yeah, I'm not gonna. This is what the show is, and if you can't do what the show is, then you can't be on the show. It's just that simple. I don't care.
And when I watched your videos, he made me feel comfortable. I was watching Mikey, and I thought, well, I love the comments he makes. He's going to make it funny. If I'm, making it boring, at least there's Mikey with the quips.
Plucky comic relief.
Gotta put this sidekick voice to use.
Johnny and Ed.
Mikey's a busy guy too. He does production work here and other channels, and he goes on. He hosts on other channels too. So I always wonder when the fuck he sleeps. But
I don't.
He pretty much does.
Usually between like 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Right, Mikey?
That's about right.
Yeah.
He just wraps up in that pillow.
9 to 1. Oh my god, that fucking pillow gets me every time, man. That's the only way I can go to bed now. Thing's awesome. It's terrible for my fucking back, but boy, I fall asleep on the best streams. I'm in a cloud hammock.
Lone Wanderer's Bunker. I don't know who that is. What do you know who that is?
Around? Lone Wanderer's Bunker's been around.
Okay. Something gone wrong with Neil?
Yeah, I'm having a sneeze fit. It happens once in a while.
Oh, because you're muting so well, you're just making faces to us.
It's kind of true.
I was like, what the hell is he doing?
I thought he was possessed.
Some sort of fit going on there or something. Seizure.
Hey, something's going on.
Do you smell toast?
No. No. But every time I walk in somewhere and you can smell like burnt toast kind of smell, I go,
yeah.
Oh,
no, it actually is. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, yeah.
Where's the toaster?
We'll
Where's
check.
the toaster?
We'll check. Yeah, make sure there's toast.
Kick open the kitchen door. Where's the fucking toast?
If there was no toaster, then I would be toast.
The only time you don't check is when you're going into a breakfast restaurant.
Then I don't know, man.
No,
then
even
you're just
then,
gambling on the edge. That's when they sneak up on you.
What's the atheist saying after a sneeze? That's an easy one. Shut up.
I always said, may Beelzebub bless you.
Gesundheit.
That's what I use, is Gesundheit.
Let your conscience be your guide, is what I say.
May Satan tickle your balls.
Dude, you need a hanky?
Hey, Satan, he's on to us.
Oh.
After COVID, I just leave the room. I just move to another state. If someone sneezes near me, just leave.
You just ruined that room.
That's ruined.
Satan, come on, Satan, put it away.
I just start bricking the room up. Like, this room is dead to me now. There's a sneeze in here.
Did you say brick?
Yeah, I'm gonna brick it up. I'm gonna put cement bricks over the walls and doors.
Yeah, I was wondering if you got a new one. Batman.
Well, yeah, I got a bunch of them and some more coming. And I ordered enough off the Lego website that they sent me a couple of bonus packs too. Like I always get the little VIP packages, they're called.
Looks like you got a bit of foot to go on that tower before it's ever reached to the top of your
With these sorts of things.
Nice.
Yeah, what's he gonna do when it hits the ceiling?
Yeah, what's that? When the tower gets to the ceiling, what are you gonna do then?
Raise the roof, baby.
Oh my god! No, he did not. Oh no!
They're Legos, dude. Hook them together and start building a.
He either brought in 10,000 followers.
I'm gonna build another room out of Lego to put all my Lego in.
Yeah.
Build a pocket dimension.
Fuck yeah! You know, I was gonna bring this up the last after party, but I think I forgot. Obviously, and I was gonna make it like a around the horn type question.
Okay. Coins.
If you could have
the coins game.
If you could have something from a cartoon, what would you want to have? And mine was going to be the portable hole.
That's a good one.
You just slap it on a fucking bank wall and just stick your hand in and grab a bunch of cash. There you go.
Oh, that's not what I was picturing.
Yeah, that's different than the portable hole I was thinking of.
My brain
Jessica
jumped
Rabbit.
to the
Does
D&D
Jessica
portable
Rabbit
hole.
count?
Right?
Yeah, mine's Jessica Rabbit.
You want Jessica Rabbit?
I think me and Ollie were both going with the D&D portable hole.
Yeah,
which is like
10 by 10 portable space.
Yeah, where you can just
dimensional space.
You can just store stuff.
Take
in
anything with you.
Park your car in there,
take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Jessica Rabbit.
I could have anything from a cartoon. I don't know. I need more time to think about it.
Oh, I want the Mighty Max hat.
my first instinct might be the TARDIS because it was in cartoons.
The TARDIS?
You can get an Enterprise.
True. Yeah, because of lower decks.
Or any of the original Star Trek commercial or cartoons from like the 70s.
Oh, the animated series?
Yeah, the animated series.
They got them all on Amazon. You can watch them all on Amazon.
So.
I've watched them like 6 times now, I think.
Star Trek animated?
Yeah, original series, yeah.
What how come I don't remember this?
What?
Oh,
yes,
only 2 seasons, right?
It was horrible, but it was great.
It was horrible, but it was
no, well, there were some cartoons in the Beatles
cheesy animation. Yeah, Beatles cartoons, yeah. And the Jackson 5 had their own cartoon.
5, yeah, I was about to say.
The Osmonds.
The Osmonds, yeah.
They had their own cartoon.
Everybody had a damn cartoon.
And their own television show. It was so bad.
Oh, it was the worst, yeah.
Donnie Marie Osmond. A little bit country.
A little bit.
Now a little bit rock and roll.
Oh my. That's so no. I don't want to go there. Don't make my brain.
You want to talk about religious trauma, that family.
Yeah.
Mormons, right?
The fucking Osmonds.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had such a crush on her, though.
She looks exactly like our brother. It's like Janet and Michael Jackson. They're the same thing.
Androgynous, very androgynous.
Do you remember the hey Air? Do you remember the rumor that the Osmond slept together? The sister.
Yep.
Apparently, it's not true, but there was a rumor going around that they had.
No, it's okay. Since you mentioned rumors from that era, I was 9 and still didn't know what this was, and went down and sat down at the dinner table and said, "Dad, I just heard on the radio that they had to pump a quart of semen out of Rod Stewart's stomach."
Rod Stewart,
and I heard it on the fucking radio. My dad stood up, looked at me, pointed at me, red face, said, "Go to your room." I didn't eat dinner that night. I didn't even know what it was. I had no idea what I had just said.
No idea. Yeah.
Wow. And he didn't have the backbone to explain it to you, did he?
Yeah, right. No.
I'm not explaining that. That's the radio's job.
Oh yeah,
radio fix it.
Where I got all my knowledge to radio. Yeah, we're kind of light on people in the chat, guys.
Hello,
if you want to join us?
Well,
let me know.
The thing about algorithms is taking a month off. It's going to take a while for people to start getting notified again.
Maybe,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Because no one hits the damn bell. Everyone says they hit the bell, but they don't.
I didn't know you were on. That's because you didn't hit the bell.
You did not hit the bell. You said you hit the bell and you wanted to, but you didn't actually do it. If you actually do it, you will get notified.
The bell curve, people.
Should I see if I have the bell hit?
I don't.
I have the bell hit.
It didn't dawn on me today to put up a little thing that I was going to be on here, so I could have been doing that all week, I guess, but I'm not that smart. This is my first rodeo.
Ooh. I totally hear you when you say comfort chocolate. Yeah, I'm all over that. I think I always impulse buy shit when I go to Walmart because they always have that stuff that's by the registers, and when you go to leave, you're hit up with all the candy and the potato chips and stuff. I bought a couple of boxes of the toffees because they were like $4 at the time. It's a big ass 2-layer, like 48 pieces. And I got home, and you shouldn't do this, people, but I ate the entire goddamn box. It's just
yeah. That's why. Yeah, it's so easy.
I know.
So easy.
And they're one of my favorite things, toffees.
It's so easy. That's why I don't buy them, dude. I can't buy those just because of that.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
Oh, shit.
So goddamn easy.
I mean, I got this vice right here. This vice is bad enough. Right there. That vice right there.
Gross, dude. I can eat about 4 of those a year. And after that, I make one. The smell of it will make me sick. And I like the first 3. They're delicious. That 4th one, I'm already changed my mind. That 5th one, I'm ready to fight somebody. I don't know what it is about Whoppers. I just hate them.
That's a malted thing.
Oh,
350-gram block of Cadbury milk. Yeah, Cadbury makes great fucking chocolate. What's your favorite candy? Like chocolate bar?
It changes.
Is it?
I might have one.
No.
I've had the same favorite chocolate bar since they fucking released it in the 70s.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
No, I've switched it up all the time. Like I go through phases.
Gary, Whoppers, you probably get Maltesers, right? Because that's what we have here in Canada.
Advertising,
we have both.
Are we advertising?
Eat more. That's chocolate. Eat more are great. Oh, paydays are awesome.
Payday is a good fucking
They used to have the chocolate paydays, but they don't.
That's a Baby Ruth now.
Now we're doing Almond Joy.
Yeah, I don't do the Almond Joys.
Well, they got mounds just in case, you know.
What about you, Neil?
Wunderbar.
Oh, that was like if you'd asked me about 2 years ago, that was my favorite.
Wunderbar.
But then Wunderbar got on Twitter, and Ollie did not like their stance on a couple of political issues, and he is off.
A year ago, I was more in the Mars bars. Right now, I'm on a Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
Oh, I can't eat Mr. Bigs.
That must be Canadian.
What is that?
Yeah, it is. It is. Mr. Big. It's kind of like an O. Henry, but instead of the chewy nougat in the center, you get a crispy, crunchy kind of fucking. You know those wafer sandwiches?
Oh yeah,
the wafer and the chocolate.
The wafer candy or wafer cookies.
Yeah.
So it's got that in a chocolate bar.
Yeah, and it's got it's got that wafer center, and then that's smothered in caramel, and then that's covered in a chocolatey peanut coating.
Right now, we're talking about our favorite candy bars or chocolate bars here, Paul.
Is that in like topic right now? Is that like one bar all the way across, or is it like in little sections?
It's one bar.
Oh, I have one in the cupboard if you want me to go get one.
The reason I can't eat them anymore is because
blaming it on me.
Somebody got me one, I think one of the holidays, and it was the monster.
Oh, the giant ones?
Yeah.
You can't eat them. They're stale. They're stale, and they're no good.
I ate the whole damn thing.
Oh, fuck. You would have been sick.
Exactly. And that's why Toblerones are fucking great, Paul.
Toblerones.
Yeah.
and I can't eat them. Ever since then, I just can't eat them.
Yeah, that was a bad move to get that giant bar.
But I don't know if you guys knew this, but Sweet Marie's now with O. Henry because Mr. Big cheated on her. So, never mind.
I think what's his face?
O. Henry's probably my second favorite chocolate bar.
Will Smith had a
Classic,
stupid
and I
candy
fucking-
bar song.
What?
Really?
Yeah. There's
And people are saying
other
other favorites in the chat. Big Turk. Yeah, I at least like those a
Big
lot.
Turks are good. A lot of people
hell
don't.
is that?
I still every now and then get a hankering
It's
for Big
Turkish
Turk.
delight. That's like chocolate
heard of
coated
that one.
Turkish
Covered in
delight.
The hell's Turkish
Yes, sir.
delight?
What?
It's like
we don't
it's
have
like
that.
It's this
Turkish
red
delight. It's like
candy.
yeah,
it's gummy,
it's got
like
powder on it, like
licorice,
gummy,
but-
like a gummy.
yeah.
with sugar powder on it.
Okay.
Oh, this
look
is
it
a
up.
gag.
In the witch in the wardrobe. That's the treat that the kid gets from the witch queen.
What's that, Gary?
Turkish
Oh,
delight.
geez, I'm sorry, buddy. You see a doctor about that.
Lint balls, yeah.
Lindell balls. No, those are good too. I know
Yeah.
what he's
See a
talking about.
testicologist. Testicologist. I don't know.
Oh. It's a rose
Ball
flavored
tech.
jelly. I
Rose-flavored
don't know if
jelly.
rose flavored is right.
Turkish
That-
delights is good.
So here the really good one is Ghirardelli. You get
Yeah.
Ghirardelli and you get it with caramel inside. Those are the really good ones here.
Yes. But I'm not a huge sweets person. I might
Dave's got the name of the movie. I couldn't think.
Three
of it.
Musketeer.
Along
I can eat a Three Musketeer. It's my favorite fucking thing. I could eat
Those
that
are good.
probably twice a year without being sick to my stomach. I just can't eat sweets anymore.
Yeah.
Turkish delight comes in.
I got
actually
one of
many,
those in the
many
cupboard too right
flavors.
now, Mike.
So
I'm Googling it. Turkish delight. I want to see if I've
I'll
seen
show
it.
you. I'll show you.
Okay.
Hang on here.
Well,
All
I'll
right.
show you.
I'll stay right here.
There you go. So it's
Oh,
basically
I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Right.
Turkish delight.
So
Yeah.
the chocolate
And you-
bars get rid of the powder and it's covered in chocolate.
Okay.
No, I think they still have
Right.
powder.
Oh, maybe it's hard to tell though because the chocolate's right thick and hard coating on the inside. Right?
There
Giggity.
you go.
I'm curious to try one of those.
All right. So
Present your
here.
snacks for testing.
I think it's funny you pulled up chocolate bars and I held up a payday.
Well, paydays they're
A candy bar. Yeah.
But
It's
I love
candy
them
bar,
because
yeah.
it's salted peanuts with the
Mhm.
caramel
With
chewy
caramel.
stuff. That's so
Perfect.
good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
Or a score. I like a good score bar.
Oh, score bars are
Turkish
really
delight.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
look at
not
that.
the kind that we. That's the fries one. That's not the one that we have here.
Okay.
The one that we have here is in a red, white, and blue wrapper.
So it believes in freedom.
Big Turk. Look at that.
Big Turk,
Big Turk.
right?
Nice.
What else?
Is that
was
what it,
mentioned?
it's called? Big Turk. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Big Turk. What else was mentioned? Somebody said Mars bar.
Mars bar. Oh, there you go.
Somebody said Three Musketeer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. So somebody
It's
said
a lot of nougat.
Wunderbar. Wunderbar.
That's what we don't have here.
That's still my all-time favorite Wunderbar.
What is it? Just
Yeah.
chocolate?
It's peanut butter,
No, peanut
caramel,
Really
chocolate.
good.
Oh, dude. So
It's the answer to Reese. It's the answer to Reese's peanut butter cups. What's better? Right. So
yes.
and there you go, Mr. Big. And
Okay.
if you can see the picture there, you can see how the wafers are in the middle.
I
of
do,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
that's what it looks
caramel,
like.
and then it's right. So
I didn't realize we were
Now-
doing the full-on candy show.
well,
You got more?
I-
You got a Reese's Take
Reese's.
5. I don't even know what this is. I haven't had one yet. What is it? Pretzel caramel peanut. I have not had one of these yet. Pretzel caramel peanut butter, peanuts and chocolate. Pretzel sounds weird.
Pretzels. I love chocolate covered pretzels, man.
No, I wasn't saying I don't, but this one has. Did you hear that? It's got pretzels, caramel, peanut butter, peanuts, and chocolate. That sounds.
Sounds
I would
busy.
not like that. I don't really
So
like
fucking-
pretzels. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Rolos
like
are
going
good.
on.
Rolo, I'm not a
Those are
huge
good.
fan of Rolo.
Oh, I
They're
love
not.
me some Rolo.
I like them, but I realize as I've gotten older, they're not as good as I thought they were as a kid.
Yeah, I liked them when I
There's
was
a Rolo
much
ice
younger.
cream that's really good.
Yes.
By the way, there's a Rolo ice cream that's really good.
No.
And I'm so glad I had the discipline to go put all of those chocolate bars back.
Good job.
Well played, Ollie. Well played.
Mine are looking
But
right.
my dog, every time I get myself a treat, I always give the dog a treat. Now the dog's looking at me saying, "You got all those treats out. Why aren't you giving me a treat?"
Yes, Legos.
So I gotta go back and give him a treat.
I'm surprised you were able to say that word in your house. I can't say that word anymore.
What, treats?
Yeah, I can't. We have to spell it.
Yeah.
It starts a parade, dude. It starts a parade. Everyone's like, yay, yay, yay. They love us and they would never change their mind after saying that word.
Yeah. Well, Paul, we've only been going for about a
sad.
half an hour, so you're not that late.
I think I even see a dog toy on the table back there too.
This is just some of the dog treats.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, the dentist ones are my favorites.
Those ones.
Yeah.
He really likes those too. Those
No bacon.
I have my bag too.
And
Oh, he does have the bacon. Bacon.
he loves those.
On the French version, it said with avec.
Yeah. Everything in Canada here has French on it.
Right. Well, you're such a split between the middle. You got the English, half, and then the French half.
Well, I started following this gal on TikTok, younger kids. She's from Ireland, and when she moved here, she thought that she'd be hearing French here in Vancouver. I'm like, no, you're not gonna hear it here. You'll see it on packaging and stuff like that. But the further east you go, you'll start seeing it on the stop signs. You'll start seeing it on everything, right? But not here. We're like, they can keep their fucking French down at that side, right? Nobody hears it except the French people.
Those are the chew toys I got for him. He goes through one of these in about 4 days, right? And I go out and I play darts on Friday nights, so I'm not around on Friday nights. So when I leave the house, I'm leaving him home. I give him half of one of those, and I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? Well, it's with peanut butter right there in the middle, right?
Oh yeah.
They're peanut butter bones. They're basically a bone made of peanut butter. I'll cut it in half and I'll give him half of one.
Message me, Gary. We'll talk about.
He destroys them in like a minute. So
you're gone all Friday night, and you leave him something that he destroys in a minute. Well, what does he do for the other 4 hours?
He has another bone that lasts days.
You giving him your bone, you pervert?
It's just a
giving the dog a bone. That was AC/DC.
Yeah. You see this thing? This is like I gave him this a day and a half ago, and it was that long then. Right? So they last him a couple of days.
It's like a fish story. It was this big.
Yeah.
I swear, I had a dog like almost 20 years ago, and I swear we gave him pig's ears.
Oh, pig's ears,
dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Grossest damn thing in the world to give you.
Smells to high hell.
Remember the little milk bones, the little colored ones, pink and green, and brown and beige or whatever the fuck they were? I used to eat those when I was a kid.
Oh, dry ass cookies.
You can eat them. Those things. Yeah, I used to fucking eat those things. I got one for the dog, one for me.
Yeah.
Oil beef hooked.
Oil beef hooked.
Oil beef hooked.
Cedar wings. My dad actually wrote that out and told me to read it out.
That's the old trick. I made friends with really, really good friends with an Irish gal right now, and I wrote it down on paper and I showed it to her and I said, "What does this say?" And she just started to laugh. She knew immediately where I was going with it.
Here in Canada, it's not Irish here in Canada. It's Newfoundland.
Oh, okay.
Which
they're
kind
Scottish,
of
aren't they?
No, they're kind of a bastardization.
Nova Scotia, I just found out was New Scotland. I just found that out the other day.
New Scotland.
That's what it stands for. Latin.
Yeah. You want to get your dog a damn near indestructible toy?
Kong. Yeah. Oh yeah. Kongs are great.
He's had this since I got him. He has not damaged it yet. And he chews on it all the fucking time. And I got him a mini one, the small little ones.
Do you put treats in there?
This long.
Put a treat in.
And then I will. But
he
just wants to chase them and chew them.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if there's a treat in it. So I discovered this the other day.
Oh God.
We just had a hot sauce store just opened up down the road from me, and they have like 130 different hot sauces. I can't remember what it's called though. Satan's Oven or some stupid shit like that. But,
Satan's Navel.
Lucifer's Den, I think is what it's called. So we're gonna go check. I haven't been there yet. And they've been here for like a few months now. You don't want to be rubbing that stuff on your nipple. Trust me.
It'll be fine.
Trust me, I know. So I'm gonna go check it out. They got all kinds of really good hot sauces there. I still got the stuff that Mark sent me from Australia. I still got a little bit of that stuff left, but we went through that pretty quickly. Because when my buddy barbecues, he's like, "Hey, bring that Aussie hot sauce down here." So like, okay.
The Aussie hot sauce.
These are made in PEI. Maritime Madness? Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron wants you to go find him
some
pasta.
No.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, so the wife's already got 4 different ones and wants more. Yeah, I didn't know there was a local place making hot sauce. The guy I know that gets the hot sauce, he's in Halifax. It's in Halifax. There's the really hot stuff that I know about.
I didn't know Canada was so crazy for hot sauce.
Some places are.
They're bored. It's very boring up there.
It's very boring up there.
Like, I don't mind putting hot sauce in my chili, but if it's anything I got to share with the dog, I can't put it in hot sauce.
Yeah, dogs aren't good for hot sauce.
No.
Yeah, I tend to tip the Scoville scale. So
Really?
I remember when we were down in at the Faithless Forum and Arn was there. Him and I are always going on about who can eat hotter sauce and stuff like that. He's insane. The guy is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went to this place, a Monkey Noodle House or some shit, and he's eating this stuff. He goes, "You can dial mine up to 11." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I got what they call a 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, the hottest thing they make. It's like a noodles ramen-y kind of soup thing, and he's eating it and he's fucking sweating and you can see his face turning beet red. Like, holy shit, dude.
Bring on more.
yeah. Like I like that too. I can't go overboard with it too much anymore or I will die. Oh, we got Jessica Rabbit HR.
my son likes the hot sauce.
I drew that last month, and since you guys mentioned it, I was like, why not pull that one in real quick?
There you go.
There you go. Make a wish.
My
it comes
son
true
likes,
right there.
There we go.
When I used to have my son over regularly on weekends, I used to regularly have hot sauce that was in the 2.5 to 5 million film. He liked the hot sauce on stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't like it quite that hot. The stuff I got in the cupboard right now is only, I think, about 50 or 60,000. It's just enough to put a little sharp in it, but nothing serious at all. So,
Dave's insanity was the last time.
Hold on. We got some stuff going on here in the chat. Paul S. I'm gonna put up a bunch of stuff that he's talking about here. So,
Paul S.
On the question of religion, there are people who subscribe because they feel it is the only way to cope with loved ones they have lost, which is true. Many do because they think there's an afterlife, which is actually not possible. But all right. Next one, he says, imagine losing a child knowing that they are truly gone. You'll never see them again. Now, of course, imagine losing anyone that you really care about. That's going to be the same, right?
Yep.
But sure, I see the parent and child connection for sure has got to be one of the strongest. Religion allows people to cope with the life, thinking they will one day be reunited with lost loved ones. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We know this is bullshit, but how do you talk to people that feel this way? How do you try to show them the absurdity of religion while crushing their hopes of reuniting with their lost loved ones? You don't have to do it that way. Paul Apologia and I talked about this sort of stuff when I was on his show. I recommend maybe checking that out. I've grappled with this ever since I became atheist. Be interested to hear your opinions on how you deal with this one aspect or trying to convert Christians. Well, I don't try.
It's Paul Simon.
Maybe.
No, I have a good friend on Twitter named Paul Simon, and I think that might be him.
Okay, well there you go. It's a of all the things to talk to religious people about, that's one of the toughest ones. Dealing with loss, especially if you're like a mother that lost a child, or a father that lost a child, or even a child that lost a parent or a sibling. That's me, he says. Well, welcome, Paul. I should have you on the show too, man. Since you became an atheist, there's got to be a story behind that, Paul, and I'd be happy to have you on.
If that's who I think it is, he has a really good story.
It's a tough one to tackle. I think when you're dealing with somebody, especially if it's a recent loss, I don't think pointing out the religion, the absurdity of religion, is the right angle to go with it. I think you just have to be comforting to them and with them. Just be there for them. And down the road, when the sting is a little bit less, you can talk about that sort of thing. Because there's great questions. I mean, how do you know, like, what if your mom's in heaven, but you end up in hell, right? How's your mom going to feel about that, right? Like that kind of thing. So, like, how could people believe this stuff knowing that that's a possibility, is what I would say. Oh, then don't look at my Twitter.
I talked about this a little bit when I was on Neil, because I went through so many losses after my deconversion. And one of them was my foster dad, who was amazing. And it bothered me that all of the wonderful, amazing things he had done, all of that was, you could see God's light shining through him and not him. And it was hard, but there's a Facebook group called Grief Beyond Belief. That is very helpful. It's a peer-to-peer group, and that can get you some insight, and it's a great place to ask questions.
Yeah.
And one of the things that helped me, because once at some point after I deconverted, I was like, yeah, I'm an atheist. At some point after losing some people, I was like, oh, holy crap. And I had to re-grieve.
Yep.
In a way. And so one of the things that comforted me was that peer-to-peer group on Facebook, Grief Beyond Belief. Freedom from Religion has some help as well. But have y'all ever heard that you want a physicist to speak at your funeral quote?
No.
All right. It says, you want a physicist to speak at your funeral. You want the physicist to talk to your grieving family about the conservation of energy, so they will understand that your energy has not died. You want the physicist to remind your sobbing mother about the first law of thermodynamics, that no energy gets created in the universe and none is destroyed. Yeah. And it goes on, and it talks about how, like, the sunbeams that once touched that loved one's face might be touching your face now, since atoms and things are just recycled.
Okay.
It's just an interesting concept. There doesn't have to be any woo involved to take in the awe of that which is existence and find some comfort in that.
I still trip out that we came from stardust, so and that's
well, yeah, you exploding stars. You probably have matter in your body from at least a dozen exploded stars,
right? And that's beyond,
Yes,
it's pretty heavy.
It's
more. Cool. It's more. I dare say that's more magical than is a burning bush or a story about a 600-year-old man or a flood, or way more magical.
I saved this to my phone because it's something that something I refer to all the time when people talk about an afterlife, and it's the physicist Sean Carroll who talks about this stuff. And he says, we got to give up on these lofty dreams because there is no life after death. As a matter of fact, he says it's actually impossible. I'll read you a little bit. Dr. Carroll states the laws of physics underlying everyday life are completely understood, and everything happens within the realms of possibility. For there to be an afterlife, consciousness would need to be something that is entirely separate from our physical form which it is not. Rather, consciousness at its very basic level is a series of atoms and electrons which essentially give us our mind. The laws of the universe do not allow these particles to operate after our physical demise. The claims of some form of consciousness that persists after our bodies die and decay into their constituent atoms faces one huge, insuperable obstacle. It cannot exist after you have passed away. I mean, as outside of your mind. Your consciousness cannot exist outside of your mind. For consciousness to even be something, it requires a mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's born in the mind, and it goes with the mind after you pass away. So yeah. So for his evidence, Dr. Carroll points to the quantum field theory, or QFT. In simple terms, the QFT is the belief, well, more of a knowledge thing now, that there's one field for each type of particle, which they've discovered it is. For example, all the photons in the universe are on one level, all the electrons have their own field, and for every other type of particle, they have their own fields as well. Dr. Carroll explains that if life continued in some capacity after death, tests on the quantum field would have been revealed. So-called spirit particles or spirit forces would have been seen and measured. So he says if it's really nothing but atoms and the known forces, there is clearly no way for a quote-unquote soul to survive death. So believing in the afterlife, to put it mildly, requires physics beyond the standard model. And as far as they can tell, there isn't anything beyond the standard model. We need a way for that new physics to be interacted with the atoms that we do have. And we have not seen that. So there's no reason to be agnostic about the idea of an afterlife, because it is dramatically incompatible with everything we know about modern science. So there you go.
Shannon Q waxes pretty poetically too about what happens with the mind at death and the notion of
smart gal.
Oh yeah, I love listening to her. And then 21 grams. 21 grams is the weight of the soul, right?
Yeah, no, it's not.
I know. I meant that with all the sarcasm I could muster.
I don't think people realize just how heavy 21 grams actually is.
I know. Yeah.
What else weighs 21 grams?
Well, when I weigh out 21 grams of weed, then weed can weigh 21 grams.
Yep. It's not quite a pound, or an ounce, I should say. An ounce is 28 grams.
28 grams of cinnamon. I mean, anything that weighs 28 grams weighs 20.
So it's 3/4 of an ounce. 21 grams.
Even rocks have rocks. Rocks don't really have energy the way you think of energy. Rocks do contain trapped particles of specific
potential energy,
but they don't actually have energy. You could take an energy reading type machine and put it to any rock you want, crystal, basalt, granite, and you will not get a reading. So
I went down a lot of rabbit holes during my deconversion, and there's a guy on YouTube that thinks that a lot of giant rock formations are actually the remains of the Nephilim.
I've heard of that guy. Yeah, that's too funny. Do magnets have energy? They have electromagnetism. So, which is
what if they're hot, Neil? Do they have energy?
Hold on here.
This is an ICP song.
Let me see if I can explain this. Being a chemist, we dabble in this sort of thing. So, magnets do have energy to some degree, obviously, because they have magnetic energy. And all energy, all of it, falls on the electromagnetism scale. Whether it's light or the earth magnets that I have stuck to the pole over there. They all have electromagnetic energy of some kind. All energy is electromagnetic energy.
The nuclear force?
No, yeah. It's electromagnetic energy. It's the spectrum of electromagnetic energy.
All right.
Rating.
You got strong force and weak force.
Hmm.
It's not. If you put a way to measure magnetism in and of itself is, of course, a what do you call it?
Pulley.
No. The things we use for direction north south. What do you
Compass.
Thank you.
Compass.
Yeah.
You can measure magnetism using a compass.
I said pulley.
So I have here. Hang on. I'll grab one here. I have here. Oh fuck, they're strong too. I've got a bunch of these. They're little earth magnets, rare earth magnets or whatever. So, and these are super strong. Okay,
Neodymium, whatever.
Yeah, and you could put something that measures magnetism, of course, and it'll make everything go squirrely, right? So
a magnometer.
Magnetism is a form of energy. So yes, magnets do carry magnetism. So, but a piece of granite is not going to have any energy. A piece of quartz, unless you put energy in it, and they're actually looking into this. What do they have now? Time crystals? Have you heard of time crystals?
Are they charging rocks or crystals?
Well, if I don't know how they're going to do it, but apparently you've seen the movie Superman where he puts all those big crystal-looking things and they have lights and stuff. You can use, obviously, fiber optics is a method of this. Light can go through it, so that, and light, of course, is photons, which is another form of energy. So you can put energy through stuff like crystals, like especially quartz is probably the best conductor of that sort of thing. But once it goes through, it's no longer in there. Right?
Yeah.
Like you get these people that make these water bottles, right, that have gems and stones in there because you can get all the energy from the rocks in your water. No,
yeah.
you can't. You can get minerals. Rocks will carry some minerals, sure, but not a measurable amount that's going to do any good for you.
Just because science doesn't believe it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Most of the time it does.
I always put a couple of fridge magnets in my water.
See, now my mom used to eat pebbles. My mom used to eat little pebbles when she was pregnant, and I swear to God, she'd like stop on the side of the road, little pebbles, and it's because she craved the minerals, is what was going on.
Yes, that's a great point, I'm sure. Yes, quartz can be used for watches, absolutely.
For the faces.
No, there's actually quartz crystal inside the watch as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember why they put them in there now. I mean, I know why, but it's not coming to me. But yes,
those are pretty.
Been used. Probably you could Google the purpose of quartz in watches if you want. But you can't pick up a rock and expect there to be energy in it. And you can, if there is energy, it may have some residual, possibly, like, for example, when you have an earthquake, right? You've seen ball lightning is generally caused by tectonic plate activity. So and that's a form of energy. It's electrical energy. And sometimes the stones can harbor a little bit of it until it dissipates. No, they don't reflect your energy. Fuck,
Hell
Dave,
yeah.
shut up.
That sounds right. I like what Dave's saying.
All crystals now 20% off using the code 604Neil.
Kelly's got some crystals.
Kelly, yeah, where's Kelly at?
Kelly can sell us some crystals.
Extra delight. The poles are constantly in motion. As a matter of fact, the North Pole will soon actually be over Siberia and no longer here. They're constantly in motion.
Yeah, because you guys didn't treat it right. Now it's out of there.
Yep.
When you go to airports, they got to move their little signs that say 20 degree or whatever. They got to move them around all the time. So Strong, weak, electromagnetic, gravity, gluons, bosons, photons, gravitons are force carriers. There you go.
Correct.
Right on.
There you go. Awesome, Stephanie. Thank you for that. Yeah. But they all fall on the electromagnetic scale or spectrum, the light spectrum.
Call lightning. That's a 4th level D&D spell.
Call lightning. I can call lightning now. Except for we're never outside anymore.
There you go. That's the word I was trying to remember. Oscillate. Thank you.
Oscillate.
Of course, crystals oscillate at a precise frequency, which is used to keep accurate timekeeping. That's correct. Yes, there you go.
Quartz crystals.
They're delicious.
Magical.
They stay crunchy even in milk.
Right. You don't have to worry about them getting soggy.
Delicious.
Magically delicious.
Taste the woo with
okay, guys.
crystal O's.
Everything vibrates. I'm vibrating. You're vibrating. This cup is vibrating. Everything vibrates. Yes, Ollie, because atoms don't stay still.
Everything with
I heard you could put your hand through glass. That if you could figure out what frequency it was vibrating at, you could actually put your hand through it.
Yes,
because it's
like the Flash.
Isn't that what fucking Bonsai was based off of?
Sure.
I mean, if you vibrated
computers, yeah.
If you vibrate it to the frequency of the glass, you could totally get your hand through there, or whatever the hell what used to be your hand is, because whatever mush that turns into, that can go right through the glass. But I don't know how you're going to turn it back into a hand.
Kind of tricky to say.
It would do stuff.
Where did I see? They said you could put an apple. We'll just say like a Granny Smith apple, and place it into some sort of sealed container, and let it sit there forever, and it'll rot. Obviously, it'll break down. It'll go through every phase of matter that you can think of for an eternity, for billions of years. It'll keep changing into different phases of matter until it ultimately, like gazillions of years from now, it'll ultimately reconstruct itself into that apple.
No.
Yes. That's the properties of matter. Yep. All the little particles will reform into that apple eventually.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking mind-blowing?
That's heavy.
That's untrue.
Matter. No, it's not. Obviously it's never been tested, but according to the math,
that's a strong claim. Strong claim you got there. Got any evidence? Like, what the fuck? Like,
that's like a Schrodinger cat kind of thing. I mean, no way to prove it, but
all of the atoms are still in it, but it ain't no apple gonna just grow off of a non-tree and just fall down.
No, it will reform into what it once was over time, eventually. Wow. And if you could be around for that ending, or for it to get back to that, because it'll actually do the same thing over again. It'll break down again and go through the whole process again. But it literally takes bazillions of years to do that.
Does that mean that I'm eventually going to turn into like multiple different stars?
Some of the material in your body will return to the stars. Yes.
Wow.
They say, people always get this idea that there's got to be some form of life after death. And there is life after death. You're just no longer a part of it. But what happens is you break down, and the flora and fauna that you fed off of during your lifetime, you now become food energy for them.
Unless you have a cat, because cats will eat you eyeballs first. I'm sorry to tell people that cats.
Ow. I give you a fucking stitch.
Oh my God. I had this song stuck in my head forever. Life goes on and on and on and on. Life goes on and
Olivia.
on. Hi, Olivia.
So in a world where anything can be anything, can we just use raisin bread for communion and have one step?
Yeah.
I like raisin bread.
Me too.
Nothing
Raisin
like a
bread is
good
good.
piece of fucking raisin bread toasted with a fucking heap of peanut butter on it. Oh yeah, baby.
Just regular butter. I don't need peanut butter on my raisin bread.
Fuck
I don't
you,
think
raisin
I've done
bread.
now
peanut
you
butter.
don't. Now you don't want to put peanut butter on something.
No.
I've never thought I'd.
That's
see
it.
that.
I'm fucking done.
I never thought
I
I'd see
never said I put peanut butter on everything. Mike.
Never thought I'd see
No,
the day
just
that
He's
just
Ollie
Canada. I keep
cheeseburgers.
thinking he's going to go over down to your square and like.
bacon
Come on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
cheeseburgers.
run over to
Cereal.
Ollie's house. See you in a few weeks, Ollie.
You
Have
wait
you
till
ever
the
put
tides
butter
are in
on
my
Your
favor.
car? You could do
What's
it
the
in
other
10
one?
days.
Butter on a Pop
I
Tart.
do.
Ugh,
Anybody
Actually,
do butter
what-
on a? Anybody
Yeah.
do butter on a Pop Tart?
Pop-Tart? No.
That's
Yeah,
a
I've done
crime.
it.
Pop-Tart? No.
That's
But
a
I
song.
can kind of
from Family
understand
Guy.
it because you can put butter on a cinnamon roll, and cinnamon rolls can be frosted just like Pop-Tart. So I can see the connection.
It was
Butter's a
a
cinnamon
goofy
roll.
song on Family Guy, and it made me laugh. And I thought, well, I guess I'll try it, and it's good.
Put butter on a hamburger, or not
No.
butter, peanut butter. Put
Don't
peanut
do
butter
it.
on a hamburger.
Here we go.
Try
I've
it.
done that. Yeah, I've done
you?
that. That's good.
There you
Yeah.
go.
This is also good. I totally forgot about this. Yes, butter and cinnamon sugar on raisin bread.
Yep.
And somebody else put potato bread. Yes, potato bread is really good too.
What's
Yeah.
a Chicago thing?
And oh my god, okay, my mind was like,
Olivia.
you can fucking do that? Somebody took ground chicken in a blender, added the eggs and the yeast and all that stuff to it, and made chicken bread.
Whoa. Chicken
I
bread.
have got to try this now.
Chicken bread.
Chicken bread.
I can't even picture that. I can't.
Well,
What that taste
And
like?
it's squishy like bread.
Okay.
Was it
The guy's like,
Arby's
I don't
or
believe this. So
Hardee's?
he made it. He made it up, and he's like, I got to try this. And he takes a bite of it, and he goes, holy shit. He's like, he couldn't believe how good it was.
Is that like a chicken sandwich without having to make it?
Kind of.
It's just
I
make
mean,
the chicken your bread.
Didn't Arby's make a chicken fries, and that's what it was? Was it Arby's or Harvey's? It was. This would have been
Burger
20
King
years
has
ago,
chicken
probably.
fries.
No, but that's just chicken that's breaded, right? That's all it is.
Okay,
It's like chicken
I don't
nuggets
know.
in fry shape.
I don't
Wasn't
know.
there a chicken sandwich where it was 2 pieces of chicken on the outside as the bread?
That was Kentucky
Yes.
Fried Chicken.
Yeah,
No,
I don't.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Those
So,
things were so good, man.
yeah, but they were so bad too, man. Heart attack.
I know, and I ate
Rocks.
on a dare, I ate 5 of them.
Fuck.
Jeez.
I know, right? I know.
All right.
Uh,
Neil with life expectancy drops
yeah,
by.
I lost about 8 years out of that whole fucking thing right there. That's funny because it reminds me, like, people I say, "Oh, you smoke? That'll take years off your life," and I'm like, "Yeah, you mean the part of my life where I'm in diapers and drooling on myself? I'm
That's the
okay.
part
I'm
I
okay
don't
with
want to
that."
live through.
Every time
Okay,
I
so
have
that
fries
brings
at
up
work, I'm the same way. I feel like I'm killing myself. But it's so good.
That brings up I got a good question. So you ate 5 of those. What's the weirdest, most like?
Yes, there was. Not sure. Yes. Flour
For me,
and the chicken
Tombstone
fiber.
pizzas. Eating a whole Tombstone pizza by myself. That was like the most
Oh,
outrageous. How about you, Mikey? You're
I
a
do that
Chicagoan.
like I do that like on the weekly. One tombstone, just one? Yeah.
Yeah, just one Tombstone. Yeah,
that's,
just one.
that's no worries.
Me and a buddy, we realized we were eating them a whole one apiece, and he said, "Well, then let's see who can eat them faster." So we had a little,
don't
little
do that.
contest.
You want to
Well, we-
enjoy them, man.
No, they're tombstones. They're cheap. It's good.
Yeah, this was just a contest. I lost, but
Friendly
barely.
row.
I eat large pizzas all the time. The whole thing.
Neil has a very impressive appetite. I know the strength of the Canadian gut now.
When I was a kid, it would be a whole loaf of bread with cinnamon toast. Like sitting by a toaster, I'd make a whole loaf
What
of bread.
in the cinnamon toast fuck is going on here? That's one of my new favorite expressions. You know what I saw that I didn't know they make them. You know, you've got cinnamon toast crunch. Now they have French toast crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't know they made that. I got to try that.
It came out when
pizza
I was a
at
kid.
Papa John's the other day. Yeah, I didn't know they had that.
You want to know the kick I've been on lately? You know the toaster strudels that you can get? Where you
Oh, yeah.
get pastry and yeah. Well, they're making a toaster scramble now.
Oh yeah,
There's
with eggs.
no icing. inside of it, it's got eggs, cheese, and sausage inside of it.
They've had those for a while here.
Good, man. It's so fucking good. I've been on them now
the little
for
pizza pop ones, the little round ones that you can get. I've had those.
No, these are
this is like a toaster strudel. It's as big as a toaster strudel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost the size of a Pop-Tart. It's a toaster strudel. It's stuffed with cheese, eggs, and sausage, or just cheese and eggs if you want.
I never had them, but they've had them for years.
You make them in the toaster right quick. They're so quick and easy.
You don't know how close to the truth you are, Doorknob Head. I love a good moose roast.
Moose roast.
Oh yeah.
So you guys have actually had moose. Wow, cool.
Those things die.
I tried moose once, and
what killed it?
What's left of the Canadian Army?
Right. How many tanks did you lose to bring down the beast?
We sicked all the cobra chickens on them.
Delta formation.
I had
moose.
bear once. Did you guys ever have bear?
I've had bear. I've had cougar. Yeah. I've had squirrel. I've had
bear was good.
Snake.
I
hear alligator is really good, and I want to try alligator.
It's greasy.
I know. I've heard that, but I'm all right with these. I'm kind of greasy. Ham and pineapple toast crunch. Shut up, Dave.
All right, Dave. All right. All right, Dave.
Just stop.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to kill the moose with a big truck. Usually the moose wins still.
Have to sacrifice an F-250. Oh no, that would be the worst.
Zombie moose. They have zombievers. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's a cheesy, bad, terrible movie. It's called Zombievers. I've had rabbit. Yeah, I've had rabbit. Rabbits, eh.
Yeah, rabbit.
Conejo.
If Neil comes to visit, keep track of your pets.
Right.
Hell,
I've even eaten tarantula legs like you would crab legs.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
When I lived in Arizona, we had one crawling up our driveway once and caught it in a bucket. Took it out to a field where we thought we were going to be feeding it to a ground. They had ground owls out there. I was in the desert in Arizona. So we thought we'd be feeding the spider to the owl. It went the other way around. We looked it up.
Owls.
Oh, wow.
We looked it up the next day and we found out, that the spider, So we were wrong.
What kind of spider was it? What kind of tarantula?
It was a tarantula. Well, I don't, whatever would be a common out in Arizona tarantula that was huge, crawling up the driveway, caught it in a bucket, took it out to where the ground owl was and thought we'd be giving the ground owl some food.
Two birds you don't want to eat. Pigeon's one of them. And crow is the other one. You don't want to eat crow either.
Seagull.
And that's why there's an expression.
Seagull either, dude.
Don't want to eat seagull or albatross.
Yeah. Any of the fish, the sea ones, dude. They're all gross.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that live anywhere near the fucking water.
What about puffin? I think it'd just be a crime to eat a puffin. They're so silly looking.
Isn't that a penguin?
No,
they look they have a similar uniform, but they fly and they have like a very stout.
Penguins actually look like they got a significant amount of meat on them. They might be all right,
The fillet of penguin. Ollie's down there on the expedition, just got a little fire going.
I think all the PETA fans dropped out of this.
This one would have never made it out of the water. Leopard Spiel was coming right for him, so I figure I snatch him up. We have something nice for dinner for once.
Yes, crows and ravens are both protected here in Canada.
And we have so many of them, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I've had emu too. We had an emu farm around. And emu's pretty good. If somebody mentioned kangaroo, I've heard kangaroo is good, but I've not had that. It's leaner and healthier than beef. Yeah. Same with moose. It's a lot leaner than beef. Yeah, don't eat seagulls. Boobies. Not your boobies. I like eating boobies. Wait, no. What were we talking about? Alpaca?
I'll enjoy it.
I've not tried alpaca. I don't know. You know what I kind of want as a pet is those capybaras. The big fucking giant fucking what are they look like giant fucking
guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Blood drink from a cow? No, thank you. Yeah, moose is great.
Capybara would eat you in your sleep, dude.
I know, they're huge.
Man.
Biggest rodent on the planet. Not if I eat it first. When you went try capybara.
I might have a bite of capybara, but that capybara is going to get that bite right back.
4 or 5, Dave. Dude, Victoria Park in downtown Charlottetown, there's 100,000 crows in the park, ravens. You go down there, you go for a walk, and they're all squawking. It's so loud, it's ridiculous.
Dave works like where I'm sitting now. I could look across the street and I'll see where Dave works because he works at the ports over there. And there's 4 or 5 huge ravens. Yeah, I always see those poor ravens when they're flying across the river to go back over that way, and they're being chased by a fucking giant murder of crows. Because crows and ravens do not get along.
He said you guys have eagles there too.
Yeah, we have eagles. And you'll see the crows chasing the eagles too. I'm like, whoa, you're fucking brave.
Here in Ottawa, we have an actual place where you can go. What do you call it? Like a conservatory where they have there's a bunch of nests, and you can spy them through the glasses.
It's a place here you can go and touch them and hang out with them. It's their recuperation is called the Owl. I think it's called Owl, outdoor wildlife something or whatever. But
Lounge.
They're and they get injured and they bring them there, and they're there for months and months, and you can actually go in there and you can pet them and stuff like that because they get used to being around people. But don't worry, folks, they don't get that used to being around people where you can't let them go back into the wild, because they do that when they heal, they let them go back out into the wild. But you can touch them. Usually they let the kids do.
Those around here hold us for ransom. If you don't throw right out for them, they shit on your car.
Oh, no.
Good night, Stephanie.
Ollie, stop feeding the birds bread. Give them food that's good for them.
Okay, well,
throw some grain out there. Next time you're at the shop, grab it. Just grab.
Michael is not Canadian Air.
No, born in Minneapolis, so not too far away. No. Not too gosh darn far away, eh?
Gosh darn. I'm tired. She's going to bed.
Mikey,
I'm really sad about like the whole global warming thing, but it is nice to see bald eagles in Illinois. I never saw one until like a couple of years ago, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Apparently, they started overwintering here.
Come to Ottawa.
Always here. They're always here.
Yeah.
Come to Ottawa.
Here now too.
You can view them like a couple times a year. You can view them in their nests. Have you ever been to Starved Rock, Mikey?
I've been meaning to.
Oh, you need to come to Starved Rock. It's just, there's waterfalls. I mean, it's one of the neatest places in Illinois, and I've been over the state. And
we ain't got much.
No, we really don't. We have Starved Rock.
Yeah, in the mountains down in Cahokia.
Yeah, in Chicago, we got Chicago.
Yeah, fucking Navy Pier. Hooray!
Yeah. Is there any disc golf in your neck of the woods?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's some golf. Yeah,
everybody drink. He said
I didn't say golf. I said disc.
Michael is diet Canadian.
I love it. That's funny because didn't I say Canada was America Junior at the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, it was. Now we look up to it.
I usually like to keep these things about an hour and a half, just a reminder, guys. So we're at the 1:18 time frame now, just so you know. I had something else I was going to say, and now I can't remember what the fuck it was. Oh, about the eagles, bald eagles. There are more bald eagles here. Well, basically the Pacific Northwest, or as we say in Canada, the Southern West, because I'm in Southern Canada, right? There are more bald eagles here than anywhere else on the planet.
Wow.
They are everywhere.
That is so cool. Don't come to Starved Rock. You go there.
Well, they go back and forth across like the 49th parallel or down south a little bit. It's crazy to see. You'll see. It's just sitting at work the other day, and we look up, and they ride the thermals. Obviously, the birds like to ride the thermals, and we're looking up there, and there's like fucking 9 of them circling around the thermals. I'm like, holy shit! I don't think I've ever seen that many at once. But there's a little park that we used to call Bunny Park in a place here called Ladner, and you'd always see the eagles there because people would take rabbits and they'd let them go in this park. So let's just say the rabbit population exploded. And then the eagles showed up. And all of a sudden, there's eagles everywhere. It's like fucking 90 eagles sitting up in the trees. And suddenly we don't have a rabbit problem anymore.
Yeah.
But to see them, just they're such fucking cool looking birds.
We get them here flying in the sky quite a bit, but you have to watch. Like I would say, 4 out of every 5 birds you see is a hawk, really. And people be like, "Look at those eagles." I'm like, "No, that's a hawk."
You rock, Baron.
You can tell the difference when you see an eagle. You're like, "Oh, that was a hawk."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That ate a hawk, probably.
Right.
We have Cooper's hawks here, and they're fun to watch because they chase other birds. So
there's
we have
Ariel.
Well, yeah, we have with the brown ring-tailed doves or whatever. They're pigeons basically, but they're prettier.
Rock dove.
And well, it's one of the varieties of them. And they flock around here quite often. You can hear them all the time. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. I'm like, shut up, fuck's sakes. But then the Cooper's hawks come in, and all you see is fucking the Cooper's hawks chasing the fucking pigeons back and forth in the sky. It's great watching those guys. I almost feel like I'm David Attenborough sometimes around here. I got like 3 days ago, I think 3 or 4 days ago, I got buzzed by a hummingbird. I was out front having a smoke, and the little bastard just and then fucked off. I was like, whoa, shit.
They aren't afraid of anything.
No.
My parents have feeders up in their back, around their back deck, getting buzzed out there all the time in the summertime by hummingbirds. They'll come within.
Well, we got them here year round.
And then gone. It's like, shit, as long as you don't move, they'll circle you for a second and take off.
Yeah. Actually, if you're out there all the time while they're feeding and you're near them while they're feeding, you eventually, there's a guy on TikTok that I watch who has a little flower-shaped thing that he just puts out the window like this, and the birds sit on his finger and drink out of his.
I've seen that guy,
which is cool. Yeah.
They have something like that at the zoo around here that you can do. Yeah, those little things are assholes. My mom's a gardener. My mom's a gardener.
God.
They are fucking mean as shit.
Hummingbird snoring is the cutest thing in the world. It's like otters too. Like hummingbirds snoring and otters are the funniest things in the world. We got otters here too. We got otters in the river here.
There's this Japanese couple that I guess rejuvenates otters or something, but they have this really badass YouTube channel. And they're just feeding him salmon, and then this is his birthday, so he gets a special salmon, and he's just the whole time. I'm like, time out. Fuck the otter's birthday. Why do you get a pet otter? Like, what? This is an option?
We got sea otters here. You want me to catch one for you?
You guys have missed the buried the lead here. They have a pet otter. Like,
they come up the rivers all the time because my buddy Terry works at the fish factory, and they'll come up right up on the land and like sit in front of you like this, waiting for you to hand them fish. Yeah. They're used to people, right? So falconry, extra delight. I have a friend in Ladner. His name is Tor. He raises falcons and hawks. He's got a Merlin. He's got a red tail. I think he's got a Cooper. He's also got a couple other falcons and stuff like that. And I've gone with him many times where you go out and he allows me to hold a couple of them and you let them fly around and then they come back to you. He's got them all trained. They're a lot of fun to hang out with him. I haven't seen Tor in probably 6 years though. Yes, I know there's YouTube videos of hummingbirds snoring. That's where I first found out they actually snore. It's from YouTube.
That long ass nose. There's no way they don't snore.
Yeah, I know.
How big?
I don't have a big nose and I snore.
You need to own a falcon.
Play a hummingbird snoring video for everyone. We could do that.
I've never seen it.
You did.
Owls are cool.
Yes.
I'd love to be able to fucking turn my head all the way around. That would be epic.
All right.
I mean, I probably can, but I'd die.
Dude, I didn't realize that fucking when me and the wife went on that cruise, fucking sloths can turn their head almost all the way around.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sloths have
because she was just like,
rotary.
My wife's holding her, and then she just kind of turned and looked at me. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Speaking of
her head
the
could turn all the way around.
Fun fact about sloths, and before I say this, I'm going to remind y'all that I have an 8-year-old kid. But sloths, I just happened to know this off the top of my head from a random search the other day, are the only mammal that do not fart.
Did they check?
What?
Sloths are the only mammal that don't fart.
Do they burp?
I don't know. We didn't look that up.
They don't fart. Wow.
Okay.
They got to have some way of expelling gas, I'm thinking.
Sure.
But my kid asked me a question about, like, I don't know, whether ants farted or something like that. So we went out, we were like, I don't know, let's check. So that's my random fact.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, you guys ready? You ready for this?
Ready.
Are you ready for this? Yeah.
A scientist in Peru captured this, escaping from the tiny body of a sleeping hummingbird. A high-pitched but unmistakable snore. Hummingbirds are loved for their beauty and speed,
I've seen it.
but this one was behaving.
Cut
a
it,
little
Neil.
bit
Cut
like
it,
a
Neil.
human.
Cut it. We got the taste. They're gonna get us for sure. I didn't know it was a BBC video. Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. Sorry, YouTube. It wasn't. I just wanted to. This is the only one I could find real quick about a snoring hummingbird.
That's
I'm
funny.
sorry, but
And we weren't looking anyways.
Yeah, no one was watching it.
Nobody watched it. Well,
We were listening.
BBC, don't freak. They freaked out on me already once.
Yeah, they're real stingy for a publicly funded fucking enterprise.
I know. I donate to them too.
Yeah, like
Because
fucking
BBC 's great.
PBS isn't fucking jumping all over everybody else. BBC is the same shit.
But you got to hear a hummingbird snore, and that was the main objective.
That would be so annoying if you're just trying to sleep and then you're like, hummingbird husband is asleep right next to you and there's just high-pitched droning sound in your ear all night.
That's not what I expected.
Larry, roll over.
Hunter, I had a girlfriend, probably in the 90s, who had a pet raven.
Wow.
It could talk.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Quoth the raven.
Quoth the raven. Yeah, and funny, his name was Poe.
Awesome. Fuck yes.
But he was the fucking coolest bird ever. It didn't matter what you were doing. If it looked interesting to him, he was like right there and wanted to be a part of it.
Rubik's Cube.
He had this weird habit. Yeah, Rubik's Cube. The Pyraminx. He had this weird habit. I had a cockatiel that used to do this too. He would go into the ashtray, pluck the cigarette butts out, and throw them all over the place. I don't know what it is with birds and cigarette butts, but I had a cockatiel that do that, and Poe the raven used to do that too.
They watch a lot of TV and they see people throw them on the floor. They're like, "What is this ashtray on the floor?"
That could be.
This is where this goes. You live on the floor.
Well, you do now.
Too good for
all
your
right,
home.
everybody. I bet CBC would be dicks. Yeah, CBC's dicks about everything, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up. Yes, well, a lot of parrots live 80 plus years.
I know, that's why we didn't get one.
Hitchcock's The Birds is awesome. That scared me when I was a kid.
The Birds.
That one, and there was this other movie that had dolls in it, and I can't remember what the fuck it was called. But that one scared the shit out of me too. And the other one that I cried and woke up my parents was one called "Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things."
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why
well, the name of it, I was like,
that
sounds cool. I love birds.
And little Neil woke up his parents.
Oh yeah, I fucking booted the door and oh my god, I can't do that. Holy fuck, you're not allowed to watch horror movies anymore.
But why did you watch it? Because I wanted to be scared.
Yeah.
And you are scared. Yeah. Real scared. It's like, Adam.
The
Exorcist. It's a little harder for me now.
That was the worst.
It's a little harder for me now because I got to get in my car and drive all the way to where my mom lives and kick the door in.
The lady at the desk is so pissed every time I do it.
She's so fucking pissed. You're not allowed in here after 11. Like, I don't care. I had a nightmare.
Stop watching the movie so late then. Come during visiting hours. I'll watch at midday, then I won't get scared.
Children shouldn't play with dead things unless she's storing up head. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I want to go to bed. I did not sleep very well last night, and I had some fucked up dreams.
Okay.
I don't even want to get into it. One of the dreams I had was at a place I used to work at years and years ago, and my boss at that place was trying to get me to come back and work for him, even though the place doesn't exist anymore. So
I still need you to come in, Neil.
Yeah, we still need you to come in. It was a weird, fucking weird dream.
Did you try to explain to him that it was closed?
Have you ever had dreams like where sometimes I sleep and my eyes are open a little bit?
Yeah.
And like stuff that's on my wall will incorporate into my dream.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing.
That's kind of why
Like,
I
I used
fall
to
asleep watching TV.
I used to, back in my late teens, early 20s, probably up to about my 30s, I used to have, you could not see the actual wall in my room. It was posters and shit everywhere. It was the same. They had this guy come into a house that I lived in. They're looking for locations for a Bob Hope movie that was being filmed. And Anton, I sent you a link, but it's a little late now. We're going to be closing this down. And he comes into my room and he goes, "Holy fuck." It was all on the ceiling, everything. He goes, "Man, the set deck people are going to love this one." Anyway. Yeah, lucid dreaming is when you can figure out and learn how to do lucid dreaming, that shit's fucking cool. Lucid dreaming is when I learned how to do it from Star Trek Voyager, actually. When Chakotay was teaching somebody how to lucid dream. So you pick something that is, when you dream, notice things while you're dreaming that are common in your dreams and then focus on that. And then you'll actually subconsciously or consciously, I guess, while you're dreaming, realize that you're dreaming. And once you realize you're dreaming, you can control your dreams.
Yeah, you steer it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I think my family kind of inceptioned me into having these series of nightmares. They told me that my mother had been playing with a Ouija board and left me in there with it, and that she shut the door and the little hook and eye latch went through, and that my grandfather had to use an axe to get me out of the room, and they think I was in there with the devil. And the thing was, there really were like axe marks on the door.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And so
Here's Johnny.
I had this weird recurring nightmare of just like this shadow thing moving toward me in that room. And I think they like talked me into it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have thought of that dream on my own if they didn't tell me that whole story.
They planted the seed.
Yeah. They inceptioned you. Yeah.
Ouija boards are, they respond to micro muscle motor, something, whatever.
Yeah, there's a neurological explanation for it. Yeah.
And someone tried, well, at one time I asked this guy, I'm going to see if this spirit that I'm talking to knows what you had for lunch. And they spelled out, I think, Big Mac or something. He goes, yeah, I went to the McDonald's. I had a Big Mac. The thing is this guy always goes through the McDonald's and has a Big Mac. So it's like, gee.
You don't say.
Really weird. Yeah, no, they're fucking nonsense. But anyway.
It says you had food for lunch. Yeah.
Food.
Yeah, for lunch. I had lunch for lunch.
Food.
Sleepwalking. I've never sleepwalked that I'm aware of. However, at an overnight camp when I was a kid, there was a kid in the room. I got stuck behind because I was sick, and all my group went on some field trip. And I had to stay there, and I slept on the floor in their little cabin or whatever. And one kid gets off the top bunk, climbs down, It goes around to the head of the bottom bunk and starts peeing all over the kid underneath.
Oh no! Oh no!
I guess he thought he was sleepwalking and he thought he was going to the bathroom.
Oh, he didn't think he was. He was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was going. He was going all right.
The
And
kid
the guy-
underneath is like, I didn't pay extra for this.
The kid underneath didn't even
My
wake
kind of
up.
camp.
He didn't wake up.
That was
And I'm
his
like,
dream.
I'm like trying not to laugh, and I'm trying because I don't want to wake you. It's really dangerous to wake up sleepwalkers. Apparently. So he just peed all over the kid, and went right back into bed. And I was
Wow.
like, holy crap!
Are you sure he was sleepwalking and not just saying?
I didn't like the kid.
It's not you.
Really didn't like that other kid.
The kid on the bottom bunk was snoring like a hummingbird. He had to do something.
I'll teach that little fucker.
Yeah. Once again, BBC, if you happen to catch this, it was I didn't realize it was going to be one of your clips. I thought it might have been somebody doing a home video of a hummingbird snoring, which is really why we wanted to see that. I apologize for using your product or whatever. If you want, I can edit that out at some point, but
It's okay, Neil. They're not listening.
well, how do you think they find these things? Something
The
triggers, and then
bots.
BBC comes
a
along.
bot.
And okay, well,
Yeah.
all right.
The
well,
bot.
I'm not
the
taking
bot.
it out. I'm leaving it in. You can unmonetize this video. Fuck you. I don't care.
Give it to the hummingbirds.
Yes. Donate all the money I would have made from this video to the Hummingbird Foundation.
Get the hummingbird sleep apnea kits up and running.
Some
Save a
snoring
hummingbird.
treatment stuff for them.
Don't you treat the fucking hummingbirds instead of demonetizing us?
You haven't
gonna
had
make a movie.
prophetic dreams, Anton. You can't have prophetic dreams. I'm sorry, buddy.
Mm-mm.
You might think that you are, but that's not what they are.
If you are, write a Nobel, Peace Prize winning article and
Yeah, exactly. Go get your Nobel Peace Prize.
You're more than likely having deja vu dreams, something you've already experienced.
Somebody
Years
explained to me
later,
what that is.
remembering them in the wrong order.
Yes, somebody explained to me. I can't remember who it was who explained to me. I think it was my old science teacher, and he's like, "You know what deja vu actually is?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think anybody knows what deja vu is. I know what it feels like. Oh man, I think I've been here before, or I've been in this situation before." It's actually your brain stops, rewinds, and plays forward again really quickly.
sure, that makes sense.
So you get that feeling like you've done it or been there or whatever or seen it or.
I like Vujade, where you have done it. And
I've never been here before.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of deja vu. Vujade. All right, everybody. My spider's looking at me like he wants to get some food, so I'm going to feed my spider. But thank you, everyone out there in the chat, for hanging out with us. I hope you guys had fun tonight. A lot of new folks in the chat. Welcome, and you're welcome back anytime. And all you new folks, if you do have a story you'd like to share, I still need people for January. As a matter of fact, I don't have anyone for this coming Saturday. So
Somebody get on there. Let's get a show going for Saturday.
Yeah, Tuesday we got Lindsay.
we got Lindsay for the 17th.
Can I sign
need
up for
someone-
another religion and then deconvert real quick?
Yeah, you can do that. And I still need someone for the 19th, the 21st, and the 26th. So we still have a few spots to fill. If you have a story you'd like to share, I can be found 604atheist@gmail.com, or you can find me. That's actually, I think it's linked in there in the thing below. Or you can find me on Twitter with 604atheist on Twitter. And if you missed the original interview with this fella here, there's a link to it below, and it'll also pop up at the end of the credits at the end. And you go back and check it out if you'd like. And if you'd like to follow Michael on Twitter, he's only been on there for a few months, so he needs some followers, guys. He needs some followers. We got to get him some followers. Not like
Thank you, Mikey.
but we need some
Thank you, Neil.
so you can click on that, and you can go and follow him on Twitter, and then you can stalk him there and send him like drunk texts in the middle of the night and stuff like that.
Pictures of your
And
buttocks.
yeah.
Well, wow. Quail oil be food.
Want some dick pics? I'll send you pictures of Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Tracy.
Dick Van Patten.
Dick Van Patten.
Right? There's a bunch of Dick Vans.
I have a pic. I have a guitar pic that says Dick on it. I'll take a picture of that.
Yeah, the dick pic, sure.
The dick pic. All right. Thank you guys out there in the chat. Thank you to my wonderful patrons. You guys are awesome. Premonition dream. Premonition dreams aren't a thing, people. Stop it.
Not a thing. Not a thing.
Yeah. And thank you guys for hanging out with Michael and Mikey and me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Ollie, man. Thank you, HR.
And fuck you, Ollie. All right. And until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of the after parties, like the late, great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And premonition dreams are bullshit. See you guys later.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.